Hi, I'm Melanie Davis, host of a new program on the Be First in Media Network called The Triumph Show. This is where we have the opportunity to bring people who have inspiring stories to share of overcoming adversity, tragedies, and who have something to share with all of us, a piece of wisdom. And it's a great way to be inspired and find new paths in our own lives as we listen to the paths they have found to healing and overcoming. And today, in my first show, I actually had the opportunity to have one of the founders of Be First in Media, Craig Bushon. I'm so glad that you came. Thanks for being on my first show.
I am on this side
Yeah,
now. That's very interesting. I'm so used to just grabbing my microphone and talking myself. Well, this is fantastic. Welcome to the network, by the way.
Thank you. I'm so excited. We actually got to meet by me being a guest on your show, so I was in that seat, and it went really well. We had the chance to talk about veterans and their stories in the book that I've written, and it went so well. We decided to create this opportunity, and so I have a lot of gratitude to you, because it's really, you're the one that's made this possible. And
I'll tell you, those are kind words. You know, there's a saying that I've said to the folks for years on my own show, that, you know, we're all in this together and it's the right thing to do. That's what we have to do. We have to do the right thing on purpose. And we did, Melanie. We met through a joint effort that we didn't know we were jointly doing. And that was assisting veterans, right? And assisting veterans sounds like, oh yeah, I'm assisting veterans, so what? Well, the reality is more and more people today are aware of our veterans because more people like yourself, okay, you're not a media person. You don't come in as, I've been in broadcasting a long time. I believe in it because I've seen for many years through the media what's been happening and through knowing veterans myself. But I've had a voice because I do traditional broadcasting. Then when I meet somebody like yourself that has a story to tell, you have books that you've written, you know, none of this stuff does not need to happen in a vacuum. People need to know about what you're doing and the uniqueness of how you're approaching it, and the tools that you're giving the veterans, which I hope we can talk about for a moment.
Yeah, I hope so.
Here I am, I'm taking over your show.
No, it's great. I appreciate it, because you're kind of setting the stage for what this show is about, and how it began really has a lot to do with why we're doing this show, and that is because what I do, I'm a personal historian, and I help people to tell their stories. And I've been working particularly with veterans because it's very healing for them to tell what they've been through and to share the wisdom. And they're just the most incredible people. But it's one thing to help them tell their story. It's another for it to be heard or witnessed. And really, in the process of sharing their stories and knowing that what they have to share makes a difference, whether it be in the life of another veteran who has something to learn from them, who may have walked this path of PTSD or having lost a leg or whatever the challenge may be, or just knowing that their story reached out to our nation and to our civilians and created more appreciation, awareness, and patriotism. So,
absolutely. I mean, obviously, we're focusing in this moment on the veteran, the hero, you know, but who are the real heroes in the Triumph books that you have? And this is amazing. If you've never read this, folks, you know, this is not a story of just about a veteran. This is really about triumphing, and life is that thing that we have to deal with as long as we're here, right? And it brings us challenges. And what I learned dealing with veterans for so many years now is that, they're heroes coming back, but they're also coming home to heroes. The spouses, the children, the extended family. We're all in this together. And I learned so much by speaking with, you know, the children. You know, the only ones I've never brought on air, I have to say, are the little kids. Because I don't want to put them in that spotlight. I don't want to put that pressure on them. I mean, if they're a teenager, maybe 15 or 16 on up, I'll do that. But off air, I speak to them, and I learn so much from the kids. And what they think and what they do. Listen, folks, the kids are some of the best. Well, first, they tell you the truth most of the time if you ask them a direct question.
They get the big picture better than we do.
They really do. They're not picking their words, all right? But the fact is, I've learned so much from them. And then when I met you, and then I saw Heroes, and I saw what you're doing, and I saw your Triumph book, and then the whole theme of where you're going, it fits in lockstep with what we're doing within our Be First in Media, within our Be First in Media network. We have Be First in Business, obviously flagship show would be the Craig Bushon show. We've got the Common Man show. We also have Latin Style, which is coming out.
Yeah,
because listen, with the way the world is today, people are broken up into segments almost.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different. It's multimedia. So you have lots of choices today. So you've written books, right? Now you're on camera, right? Then it's also live 365 radio, on the web. That's just cool. That's getting information out there.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what excites me. What I'm really all about is helping people to share their stories.
Sure.
To discover, write, and share. And this is actually my first book. This is called The Triumph Book. And it's a collection of stories from people who've endured severe tragedies. Many of them actually made the media when they happened, and how they overcame that, and what they are able to do, and the joy and the purpose they find in life because of what they went through. And the reason that I put this together is because so often we get beat down by our adversities and our challenges, and we have to believe it's possible in order to overcome anything. And the best way to believe something is possible is to have seen someone else do it. And it's storytelling that connects us all. And we've been telling stories since the dawn of time, when we were painting and scratching cave walls and carving totem poles. Right. And this is just the modern day version of storytelling. But what I'm really excited and grateful to you for giving me this opportunity is what I do is I'm not sitting here telling stories. I'm just a facilitator that allows people to share their stories with one another and bring that kind of hope and purpose into life. And maybe there's someone out there that's struggling and doesn't see how they can get through what they've been through. When you read stories of people who've overcome, losing a child to a kidnapper, rapist, or murderer, that's found the ability to forgive, or someone who lost his entire family to AIDS because his young wife got it, at the hospital. Or and there's just the stories near a man who lost his bride on their honeymoon just after being married in a car accident. You think, how can you get through that? A woman who lost all of her children, who were shot at the dinner table by her own son, who was in a depression. All of them died in front of her. I mean, she got through it. Her story is in here, and it shares how she did it. When you read those stories, it changes your perspective. You say, wow, I really can get through. Right. So what I want to do with this show is give the opportunity for people to come on and share those kinds of stories and allow them to help each other. And of course, as we share our stories, we heal. And it really started for me with the ability to share my story, because my 7-month-old daughter Bryn passed away of SIDS. And I healed, I would say, completely. I can say that. I feel that way. Good. Because I was able to take what I learned from her death and finding out that I could get through my worst nightmare and I could find purpose and meaning in it. And this was really the catalyst for why I help people share their stories. I made this little storybook, and it's full of her pictures and the journal that I kept of her. Oh, wow. Isn't that cute? I love this one. The journal that I kept of her, and after she died, I wrote what I learned and what it was like, and I wrote it for my children and posterity because I wanted them to know. Mm-hmm. That's a good one to show too. No, her little casket.
No, that's right.
I wanted them to know they had a sister, but it was more than that. I wanted them to know that they can get through their worst nightmares, and being able to share this with other people and help them get through, child loss like I went through. That's what allowed me to keep going. And today I can honestly say that I am grateful to be a SIDS mother. And I wouldn't change that. But I want to help other people feel grateful to have lost a leg, or to have gone through cancer, or to be a veteran.
There are so many people, folks. I mean, that's why this is so important. Everything that Melanie just said. Some of you seeing this right now say, yeah, I've lived that. Others have not, but go, hey, I know someone who did. Ultimately, you're a facilitator, yes, but I look at this, these are like instruments, okay? And it's like an orchestra. And orchestras, every instrument has its message, okay? And each person who plays it a certain way. Yeah. But there must be a maestro. There must be a conductor. There must be somebody who puts the rhythm in place. And that's the way I look at it, and that's the way that I can really my analogy of it would be that's what these are, and that's what I think all of them will be moving forward. It's that collection of music. Okay.
Oh, I love that analogy.
And when that happens, you know, it sometimes for some it provokes tears, for others they smile at the same time that somebody else is crying, because the message is different to everybody, because the way that string is plucked, you know, or the horsehair is drugged, it has a different message.
That's so good.
That's the way I look at it. So that's the way I look at you, and we are all that way. In our own way. Yeah. We just have to be able to do it. I see a picture like that. That's a gift. This is a gift. This came here. It was here. She was real. And that is there forever. That's a smile that is there forever. That's the great thing about photography. That's a great thing about using technology to get a message out. So I'm very, very excited about what you're doing here. It has to be done by a very, very unique person who really cares about the issues for a broad spectrum of reasons. And it's not just about one issue. It's about there's life happens out there. So I applaud you for it. I look forward to obviously helping you out any way I can. We have great people here within our media team, but it's great stuff.
Yeah, you know, the image on the book, and this is the first one, and the second one is the collection of stories from veterans from World War II up through our recent conflicts. And you can see there's an image here. And it's a person. In this case, it's a veteran who looks like he stepped off the battlefield to hold up this book. And this person is standing on a winner's platform holding something above his head. And what is it? It represents his story. And our stories really are the greatest gifts that we have to give the world, because the truth is one day we will all die.
That's right.
And we can leave something behind of such significance it can reach down through the corridors of time. And, you know, your story may affect a young man 5 generations from now.
That's right.
You know,
that's exactly right.
What an amazing gift and power that is. And so I really do want to shed light on the power of our stories, the importance of sharing them, and the fact that we all have important stories, not just those who maybe have gone through something really difficult. And the truth is, I could bring anyone. I could go out in the hallway and grab someone and sit them down here and talk to them, and there would be something of great value.
Right. You could take something happy, for example. It's not easy to make something happy, meaning that someone could have a success, and they'll go, wow, look how successful that person was. But there's a triumph there because it took a long, I look at Olympians. Look at an Olympian who wins the gold, the silver, the bronze. I mean, yay, that's fantastic. But the work it took just to become an Olympian itself is a triumph over the many, many things that stop most people from never reaching that goal.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not always a bad story. Sometimes the bad story is that people don't reach their triumph. So I hope that's what people get from this, and I applaud you for doing
I appreciate you saying that too, because I really hope that people will look at their lives and say, you know, my life is significant and there's a triumph to be found, you know, and not be content in the mundane, but reach a little deeper and be willing to hurt a little, because hurting is what gets us.
Now, there's a website they can go to. I mean, what's the...
Well, right now my main focus is really helping and healing our veterans, and I have a national campaign called Love Your Veterans, and it's through sharing their stories that we come to love and appreciate them. And so if you wanted to purchase any of these books, and I do have some programs, workbooks that help people to discover, write, and share their own triumph stories. This is the military version. There's also one for I don't have it with me here, but there's one for universal grief, everyday challenges. But all of that right now is found at loveyourveterans.org. And
you know,
there's a store there for the books, and you can learn about their triumph stories. And
I tell you, first of all, it's hard to be on this side because I've been doing it for so long. I actually want to close out the segment.
Feel free. Show me how it's done, Craig.
You're going to have to do that because
you're my mentor.
I have to sit over here, but I got to tell you, it's kind of funny because it's not that often that I really truly sit on this side, and it's so easy for me to go, and then we'll be back.
Thank you for joining us.
No, this is all you, so I'll just sit here and
that's my cue.
The show.
That's my cue. Thank you so much. I really am thrilled with this opportunity, and we've got some great shows lined up and some just inspiring people to learn from. So I hope that you will come back again and watch the Triumph show. and be someone maybe one day who comes and shares your story. And be sure to contact us. Is there a website they can go to
They can. Right now, we
contact us?
They go to befirsandmedia.com. We'll have links up there. Also, the Craig Bushon Show. I actually have links up to the book. I have links. If you go to CraigBushonShow.com, you'll see even the movie that you haven't talked about, and don't have time today, but go there. You can see the stuff. There's videos. Matt Snook, he'll be on your show coming up. There's a lot of cool shows coming. I will tell you personally, some of them have already been shot. A couple pilots that are kind of coming out that you got to pay attention to and share it with everybody.
So we know how good it is because we've already done a few. Right? Yeah. And you can also go to loveyourveterans.org, especially if you're a veteran in the military and want to share your story on the show. There's a place there where you can contact me to share your story, and otherwise go to these websites if you want to find out more or possibly let us know about what you've overcome. And
absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, well, this is a great. We have a lot of fun, as you can see. So let's go get something to eat, right?
Is that it? There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.